today I want to try something different with bubble wrap. All I've got is some bubble wrap that came with different packages that I've purchased. This is a really small bubble and this is a little bit larger. So I'm going to do different things on both of them. And I want to be making something quite abstract with this. And then I'll show you why in a minute. I've got my makeup brushes and all I'm doing here is going over in a really abstract-y pattern with my micas. So there's a bit of red. I'm also going to put a little bit of black because I just do think black really does finish off things. Now, if at all you ever find that your bubble wrap is not sticking or your mica powders isn't sticking to your bubble wrap, then all I do is go over it with a really quick coat of the mold release, and that helps it to stick. And that is what I will do on the next piece, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I've got the black in there now, and I'm using the J Diction mica powders here. You get a massive pot of them, a really good price, last you forever, and they're beautiful. Now of course I've got to have some gold going through this. And then the last colour I'm going to put in is a little bit of white. I will list these makeup brushes, they were dirt cheap, in the description below. I'm taking the slightly larger one now, and all I'm going to do is just soften that off a little bit as well. It's not very hard in the streaks. There, so I'm quite happy with that now, and I'm going to put that to one side. Now for this one, I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to use a micro brush like this to paint on the mica powder to start with. For instance, this one here, I'm going to do that one nice and gold. I'm going to be using the Quick Cure JD resin for this because it's a thick resin and it's going to really give a great result and not run all over the place. I've covered this up enough to be able to just cover the top of those bubbles. An awesome thank you to all the people that got me a coffee last month. Thank you so much. And to the people that are members of my channel. And if you'd like to become a member and benefit from all the additional perks, including the competition, the support and the help and the business advice, then the link for that is in the description below. So we'll leave these to cure up. Well, these have all cured now, so I can remove my little sticks that I used to stop it all just flowing everywhere. Because this is the plastic, look, it's already starting to come off. It should just peel off this bubble wrap really easily. And leave behind, oh look how lovely and clean that is. And leave behind a beautiful little pattern. I really like that. But that's not enough, is it? I mean, we can't just do that. What are we going to do with that? So now I'm going to do the same for this one. Now this is the smaller bubble one, so this might take a bit more getting off. Now these are a little bit soft still, which is what we want. I don't want this to be fully hard at this stage, and I'll show you why in a second. I have to say this one was a little bit more, with a smaller bit, a little bit more difficult to get the plastic off in some places, but I just went around with this little picking tool and then pulled them off, and then they came off. But I remembered I actually sprayed this one with mold release, and I didn't spray this one with mold release when I put the bubble wrap in, so that would be why. Now what I want to do is cut these into shapes, and that's why I wanted them still to be a little bit more flexible, so not fully cured. If they are fully cured, then just run over them with your hairdryer, warm it up a little bit, and then it will soften it out. And I want these to go into these little jewellery moulds. So what I'm going to do is use a implement like this, little pin. You could use a pen or something similar. And then I'm going to scratch in there the shape of this all the way around the edge. And I can see that. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up that scratch, but I can see it. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and because this is still nice and soft, cut it out to the shape that I want. Now, there will be a bit of waste in this, but I'm not worried about that because I shall keep all my waste bits anyway and then use them in another project. I can see now whether this is going to fit in there or not, and if it's not, then I can just trim it up a little bit more until it fits, but it's given me the rough shape. So I think it will fit in there if I tuck it under. I will need to make a hole where the little bit is there, and all I'm going to use for that is this little drill. Drill that through. It's still quite soft, so actually it kind of just pushes through. And then I can pop that either that way up, so this is the front, or that way up, so that's the front. Well, I actually want it to be that way up. And there we go. So we've got that in there, and we've got the little post sticking through. Now, if you don't have a little post, then that's not a problem. Just fill it into a normal normal jewellery mould, and you can do that, and then you can make your little hole afterwards, which is a lot of what we do. I've cut all my bits out and they cut out really easily. I'm going to do one coaster, I'm going to do a pair of earrings, and the rest pendants. Now I will dome all these afterwards, apart from the coaster obviously, and that coaster cut out really simply as well. I'm going to be using the J Diction 3x UV Protect resin because it's a brilliant resin. I love it and it makes really good jewellery. To prevent me messing up, which I do so often because I get so carried away, what I've done is I've divided these up and written in permanent marker, which will come off with a little bit of alcohol or a baby wipe. This one I want a black background too. This one I want a white foreground because I've pushed these down really hard and I'm only going to put the resin in this bit to start with. These ones I want clear, and this one I want a white base. So that way, I'm not going to mess them up. And obviously, I'm using glitters. Because I love big glitters. Well, these have all cured, and they cured really quickly in my curing machine, which is always a bonus. So I'm going to finish these ones off using UV resin and dome them. And then this one, I'm going to put a white background into there using epoxy resin. So let's demold these. The black did get underneath it a little bit, but actually I still quite like that, so I don't mind. Quite a lot for that one. Now I could sand that off, but actually I'm going to see what it looks like finished. And this is clear, so that one should just dome up really easily. Let's have a look at the earrings. Oh, they've come out pretty. I do like those. It's really easy to dome using UV resin, and I just find it so much quicker. All I need to do is put that on there, and then while make sure that you're not exposed to any UV light when you're using this, because if not, it will actually cure up itself. Then I just fill up, because it's nice and viscous, certainly the J Diction one that I love, as you know, because I didn't used to like UV resin, as you probably know in my earlier videos. Yep, I'm happy with that. Same for this one. And then I'll do the same with all the other ones. Leave that for about 5 minutes just to let it settle out, and if there is any bubbles, then it will release any bubbles that are trapped, and you can then cure it up. Makes life a lot easier, and you get a much better final result with it as well. And all I need to do now is just to fill this up with the white resin and the glitter. There we go, that's all in there now. Right up to the top, pop that in my curing machine, and that'll be ready to demold within 2 hours. One side of that bubble wrap that I did was a little bit thicker than the other, but we'll see how that comes out and whether that makes any difference to this once it's demolded. So let's put it in the curing machine. Well, these have all finished now, and I've been able to get all these done in a day, which is the great thing about the curing machine as well, considering how many pours there were on it. I love that effect. I think that's come out really well. Very sparkly underneath. The white glitter and the edging around that really gives it a great effect. My favourite piece is without a doubt this one. That's because it looks very industrial. I've put pendant things on these because I do intend to sell all of these. There's the one with the white one on, and it domed quite well, and I quite like that white streak going across there, the same as with the black one. Even though it wasn't intentional, it just gives it that little bit more finish to it. I think it's a great technique. I have to say, I adore these earrings. Equally, my favourite with this. I love that industrial look, the way that the different mica powders have come out, and the way it really has filled in lovely. The earrings hang really pretty, and they look great. That white bit around them certainly sets them off. What do you think? I love trying on the earrings, because I always think I look so pretty, especially with a bit of stubble going on and nothing done to my hair. I just love it. It's just one of the things I love to do. They would go well with this pendant. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who would believe you could do all this out of bubble wrap? Please move that like button if you've enjoyed this video. It really helps my videos to get out there, and ring that little bell, ring that little bell after you've hit that lovely subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. If you'd like to get hold of anything that I've used, or buy me a coffee to say thank you for my videos and help support this channel, then the links for that and the links for a lot more things are in the description below. If you want to learn more about making jewelry and using resin and doing something really different like these are, then be sure to check out the video that's coming up next, because I think you'll get a great deal from that, especially if you're starting to think about setting up your own small business. I look forward to seeing you there. Take care. Enjoy your resin. Bye.